Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here on the last day of January. So to wrap January up, a couple things we're going to do. One is look at how we did, the royal we, that means you as well as me. We'll look at what I did for my unfinished objects, the UFOs, what I will do in February, because yes, over the weekend I did get that. I also have at the very end here a little quilt show of some more happy everything quilts. They just are amazing and I don't want you to miss out. So I grabbed another group of them to show you here because we're going to wrap that thing up now in January. And a few other goodies here. Plus, several of you asked me, how did I fold my quilts onto my bookshelf? Which I thought was a fascinating question because I didn't think that was really a thing that people needed to know how to do, but I will tell you what my process is for folding a quilt. Okay, so we'll do that too. First of all, the Woodsy with the outdoorsy fabric. Yes, I've named the quilt Woodsy, I guess. Here it is. I decided to spend all day Saturday sewing. I cannot tell you when I spent a whole day sewing before. I don't even know when. I just never do that. I never spend the whole day sewing. I didn't do any paperwork. I didn't do the project things I need, the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, I didn't do any of that. I just, and it was so cold out that I didn't go for a walk. So I sewed all day. I got 2 things done. Yes, well, got what I needed done. So the Woodsy here is all finished. I do have a couple of clips as I was doing it. I walked you through some of the changes I made, some of the thought process I had. So let's take a look at that. So there we go. I have this first star done and I found this mushroom fabric. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Everybody should have some mushroom fabric. All right, I also discovered I was all kind of wonky as to what was going to go on here. That 9 patch actually goes in a row up here and there's then a little row below it. So now I'm just going to get the ladder and put that up so I have a little bit more space to work. Putting up a bit more auditioning. I've got, let's go in close here. I've got panels here, which I switched some out. I had some, refolded them, got some different ones. I like that this one has a teal background, which pulls in on both sides. Then these are 2 half square triangles already done. So the ones next to them are auditioned. This one was already built. So now up on this row, there's a churn dash, that will be this, and then another 9 patch, and that's a 9 patch, or vice versa, something like that. And then on the end are just pieces of fabric. Then I have this strip. So I think I will leave that until I see what's going on here, because I might just chunk out some colors, some of the different colors to, pull that in. I've done some more on this, and I'm starting to get it to the point where I'm really very happy. It's like, oh, it's getting in sync. So down here where I auditioned a few different of the sort of large fabrics that I showed you, well, I decided that over on this right side, it was just too much. Well, all of this is too much. That's the whole idea of this guy. So what I did was cover it up with this navy. So there's the print that I had, and I felt like it could use something else. So I put the navy in here, which is the same fabric that's like up in that corner. So I kind of like the fact that, it comes down like that. I've got all of these across. There's some spacers. There's a couple of little spacers, but they will be things like this, that are more tonal. Now that chocolate block is just so dark. I didn't expect it to be that dark. So what I did was cut some of the gold. I mean, I've got the same sort of format here. It's the same sort of 9 patch, but with the turquoise, it doesn't look so dark. So I'm trying these. So I don't know. I may have to go even lighter. So that does look better. That looks a lot better, but I might have to go lighter, or get rid of the chocolate. So I actually have that cut out to do a second block because I'm not taking the blocks apart. I have enough fabric to do a second block. Auditioning borders. So I'm definitely not going to do the navy. I've decided the splatterware. It's got to be one of the plaids here. And I'm kind of liking the teal because somebody in the online chat on YouTube in the morning suggested the teal with either this red or the wood grain. I would have to order the border fabric no matter what. On the pattern, she does all different strips for the border, but I think that mine will get all the same. It'll just, and you know what's happening is as I'm making this, I'm thinking of somebody I want to give it to. So that's just fun. I didn't know at first because I thought, well, it might just be a charity quilt. But now I'm thinking, oh, I have a friend who does a lot of camping, and I'm thinking this will be perfect for her. Because it has, and she also appreciates a lot of detail, and there's a lot of fun little things in here when you read this. And I'm also thinking I will make like a sack and put it in the sack and use a lot of the leftover fabrics to make the sack up, so that it'll, I don't know, just kind of this fun thing. So that got me excited. So now I had to put some of the fabric in my basket to order it. So I'm leaning now, teal or red, teal or red. So I haven't quite decided. It was a lot of fun to use this fabric. This fabric is very exuberant. It is collage-y, a lot of it's collage-y. It's very realistic because it's actually things that the designer collects, and then I guess she kind of takes those photographs and makes them into the fabric for a lot of the things. I mean, even like this looks like AstroTurf or grass, you know, some of the pieces. Then that's what she does, like the newsprint, the basket weave, and they all then are like personality fabrics, like all of them pretty much. Maybe the splatterware and the blonde wood grain are about the tamest things in here. So I added a couple of other fabrics, some lights. I added 2 lights, and then this 3rd light with the mushrooms, so that you saw in the video. So those are the things I added, and I don't know which I'm going to go with. I either will like this combo, like an inner border and the red plaid, which, you know, I'll stand, is the aqua with the little bit of a red. And this is like an orangey red. For some of you, it's reading actually orange on your screen. And I like this one. I'm leaning towards that one because it sort of brightens it up a little bit, and I think it needs that. Okay, I also took all the scraps. This is pretty much the scraps that happened, the little pieces that happened when I was making this. Somehow these are the only star point cutoffs that I got, the mushrooms. I don't know where I put the other 3. There's 3 other ones when I did the flying geese for those stars. I don't know where those fabrics went. Those flying geese, those half-square triangles must have got put up in these bags, and I'm not looking for them. So this is what I got. I will take this and like make it a centerpiece, and then take some of the other sort of fun fabrics, build out on both sides, like this side and this side. So this will be in the middle, and then whichever plaid I don't use, I bought some extra, and that'll be part of the back. Or I might just go and get my wide back fabric. That's probably what I'm going to do, is get my wide back, probably in that hunter green or in a blue, and put it on the top and the bottom. So that is almost ready. So he will be a February finish now, because I will get the borders in and then send it to be quilted. Now the next one I did over the weekend is I got the middle part of the Valentine Sew Along done. There they are, all my hearts. And then I decided for the inner border, because I'm not buying any more fabric to go with this. I'm using the layer cake and using it all up, which means I'm going to make a scrappy binding as well. So I did the strips from the light pieces in the layer cake. See, I think that turns out so fun. So here we go again. So now that you know what you're looking at. So it's not a dark inner border. I do have the half square triangles all made. So they're all made. I just have to press them open, and that will be for, here we go. That'll be for our pattern. Now, if I notice a few people have made their whole top already, and some of them use a different fabric rather than the background for these squares, and that was kind of cute. So there's an option for you, particularly if you're trying to use up some fabric, you can do that. So this was good. It was a good day. It was very relaxing and nice to not feel like I had to get this done or had to get that done. I just could sew. A few people changing gears a little bit. A few people have asked me for the pattern for this quilt that hangs on my wall by my window. And this is so long we did last year, and there's also a larger version. So let me show you the larger version here. And I'll link you at my website, and down below in the description box are the links to this. So they're kind of fun to do. We did those last January for Valentine's Day. Okay, final finish where we get to 1, 2. I got the mittens done, and there you can see how I did the blanket stitching by hand to just tack down the cuff. So those were my finishes. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the finishes. Here is everything. I got it all done. All 8 items for January I got done. And that was amazing to me because I really had to stay focused in order to do that. A lot of these were also, except for the mittens, which were a much bigger project. They were a full project because they weren't even started. I just wanted to have them done so I could use them. But everything else didn't have tons to do. So it's harder now every month to get this many in because I have to break the project into like chunks because they have much more to do. So I might just say I'm going to do this portion of this project and that's all. So, but I did look through for February, and it's a little better than I was expecting in that arena. So I have made up again 8. I decided to go for 8. Why not? Because I'm also starting new things, and we have new things running in February. But still, I wanted to focus on it. So I have 4 bindings: the Fall Frolic, the Coffee Panel. Those are both over there. The Happy Everything, which has to be quilted and come back, so that'll be later in February. Same with Woodland. Wonderland has to be quilted and come back, so those will be later in February. And the Old School. Those 3 when they come back. Then I have these class bags that I need to sort. So we're going to do that. That won't take too long, but it'll be a bit of decision overload because I'm not teaching those types of things anymore, but my brain refuses to kind of give that up. It looks at things and says, oh, I could use it for this, I could use it for that, but I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that anymore. So it's a little bit, they've just been sitting there because every time I go to look in them, that same thought process hits my head. And I'm sure that you have things like that, whether they're quilting or other things in life, that you have to get to the point where you're ready to let them go. You know, that you're not always ready when you would like it to happen. You know, I would like to have happened, you know, a year ago, but I couldn't. So I'm thinking I might be ready. Okay, 2 other things that are on here, which would be sewing stuff up. So I have the crumb blocks from 2021, because you know I'm not making crumb blocks so much in 2022 right now. I want to sew up what I have. I'm doing something like I just showed you for the Woodsy, and then other pieces that get to be too small that are really small are going in a bag. But I'm trying to create as little scraps as possible by cutting just what I need. So I'm going to take some of the crumb blocks and I'm going to make a top in February. And then the last one, which I might not get to, this is one I think I might not get to, is I have a set of these blue, I call them the Beach Baby, because they have this beachy fabric that I love. And I need to think on it a little bit. I have the blocks. I use my AccuQuilt to cut all those blocks to try out some of the different dyes. And now I need to figure out a setting. So it's like a little bit more. So I might maybe do a setting for it. I might just get part of it rolling. So that is what I'm looking at, which I feel good about it. I feel good about that because, you know, and if I get some of it done, I get some of it done. But I'm really going to try. That's this year when I put these things on this UFO list, that is, and I think that rolls into my word of space for the year because I need, it may feel like a weird association, but space means that I can put it down and then they can be done and they're gone. You know, the UFOs are sort of this weight that hangs back behind us. They're like projects we haven't finished. And sometimes they don't bother you and other times they do. And I've had some of them so long that I wanted this year sort of roll them out into either going to charity to let somebody else finish or whatever. True confessions. That's That's what this always feels like. Let me show you how I fold my quilt, and then I'll run the quilt show for Happy Everything. First of all of you know how to fold a quilt. There is nothing special about what I'm doing. Nothing. If you fold towels and put them on your shelf, you know how to fold a quilt. There is nothing different about it. I am not folding them in an archival way. I am not doing them for museum quality folding. I am folding them to put on my shelf so that I can find them again and store them neatly. That is my goal. So first, let me just show you this one. This is folded to go on the shelf in my hallway, which is a more narrow bookshelf. The shelving units in my dining room are deeper, so I don't have to have such a narrow package on there because it's a deeper shelf. But I'm getting two on a shelf, so they also won't be quite as wide. So there's a little difference between how I fold for where the location is, which is what you do when you fold towels. You might fold them for your linen closet one way, and to put a stack in your bathroom, you fold them a different way. So here we go. I will show you this one first because I know you want to know what the quilt is, and then I will fold it on my ironing board there. So this is one of the this was, I forget the name of the book. It's a book we did, but I did a smaller version of it. And this was the smaller version, which I had a layout for you. So it's from one of the books. I'll put it down below. And it used my Bonnie Lane, some of my Bonnie Lane fabric. Okay, so I have this mat, the wool mat on my ironing board. So I will just let you view the thought process here. So pretend this is my shelf, which is deeper than my shelf, but pretend that's what you're dealing with. So basically, I will fold them all so I see the outside, because I need to see the outside. Otherwise, I have no idea what I have. And then I'm just finding what fits on the shelf. Okay, so I fold two sides in. Yep, that fits. It's on the gray part. Then I want to fold it up so that I know how deep it is. So for this, which is deeper than my bookshelf, okay, there you go. Now I just fold it again. And then at the back end, rather than folding the tails so they're on top, I could do that. I often will just lift it up and put those ends in there, which is a little bit tighter. The curved part will be the front of the bookcase, and where you see the double fold part, this will be in the back of the bookcase. So there you go. That is it. The mystery of folding a quilt. You have to find your space. How wide is it? How deep is it? Then you fold it to fit that. If you have concerns about light, fold it with the right side in. It just makes it harder to find your quilts. Also, when they're stacked, you don't see the pretty patchwork you might have. But if you have too much light in your room, you might want to do it that way to protect your fabrics. All right, let's take a look at some Happy Everything quilts by you. Home is round 2. So we have Alice May, and I love all this teal, and look at that zigzag. Awesome. She's got it pinned, ready to finish. The next here is from Amy, and I love all these happy colors, and that yellow just spread throughout it is perfect. Dolores has got a bright green in there that is just so yummy with all the pinks, and I can see a repeat of this floral. If you look on the house roof and the coffee mug, that same pink is in a lot of the blocks. Eddie's is so happy. It has got bright, juicy, sort of lime green and rust colors and blue. It is just an amazing color combination. If you're looking for something different, this is it. Ellen's is all in green. How extraordinary. I just love how this turned out. It's gorgeous. Jamie's looks a little bit like 30s fabric or 30s feel fabric. Just so pretty. Very soft, and I see binding on there. Yes, it's a finish. Love that light blue in there. That's really wonderful. Kate is primarily reds, some oranges, a little bit of green accents. It's just yummy. You know me, red, everything red. Better hide that one from me. Kathleen has a blue and a gold combo going on, a sort of a navy's popped in there. I also can see the repeat fabric. There's a print that's in the middle of the Liberty block on the top right under the carrots. You can see that repeated. Kendra's home is, I just love it, that gray, and look at the border. So she has a lot of gray for all different types of gray fabrics for the background and pulling to the border. It worked out so well with all those different color fabrics that she used. Laura's is beautiful. She has a polka dot, a black polka dot inner border. She's got some text print in there, and I love her border fabric. It just sort of pulls all those colors together. That's what a border fabric can do for you. Lisa's is beautiful. It looks like a lot of solids or fabrics that read solids, which is just so pretty. It has a really soft quality to it, and love that sort of brick border on it. It looks like bricks. Lori's is so pretty. She looks like, I think she did a piece of lace over on the left side. It looks like a piece of antique lace. She's got a little bit of applique. She pulled my bunny in. So she did a few things. There's some Easter eggs in the bottom center under the tulips. So she made it her own. Melanie's is gorgeous. Look at the more yellow. So she pulled in another quilt with a lot of yellow pulled into the sashings. I just love it. It's crisp against the white. Patricia's pulled in purples. That is so effective. I love how the purples pop through there. It is just wonderful. It has that fall feel to it. Retta brings in black. So the black is stunning. It really makes your colors pop. And so if you've never played around with black background, just do one quilt. It's just amazing. And it looks like a lot of polka dots too. Sherry's is fun, fun, fun. She did the stocking, and she pulled in the dog from one of the Home Is sew along that we did. So she pulled that in and made it her own. And I love that summer blue she has going on. Shell's is just yummy. It looks like a lot of K facet fabrics. They are just juicy, juicy, juicy. And the corners are all blocks. They're roses. Ah, love it. Teresa's, the blue, that's like a deeper teal blue, that is incredible with sort of peachy oranges. Ah, such a good combination. And Teresa brought in a really, really fun fabric line so that's pulling all through her quilt, and it just makes it look so incredible. One more. Tanya has got purple on the border, which pulls out the purples that she's used on the inside, so that's super effective, and I just love it. Looks like a lot of sort of tone on tone, very juicy. That was so much fun. So I am waving goodbye for the day. Get out your UFO list, make yours for February, share it in the group so we know what you are going to finish in February, and celebrate what you finished in January. So I think I'm going to take a picture of mine and put it in the group to celebrate January. All right, my friend, I love you. Mwah. See you online.